Panel number 20 represents Nanie Mary Craig, who was born in 1870 and died in 1935. She was born in Kentucky, Ghent, Kentucky, actually. It's interesting that she is listed as a mulatto, which means that was of mixed race origin. She was a farmer. She attended school, however, and was literate. She applied for her homestead in 1915, and after moving again to Pasadena. She was a housekeeper in 1916 and lived with her relatives in between Pasadena and Lanfair, because for many of these homesteaders, actually for all of them, one of the requirements of having a homestead, which was guaranteed by the government, was that they had to spend a minimum of 7 months of each year on the property. And they had to demonstrate in writing when they would be away from the property, how long they would be gone, and what the purpose of the visit was away. And as the drought came, many of them were finding it difficult to survive financially and otherwise. So they would leave the property for 2 or 3 months at a time and work primarily in the LA area as housekeepers and gardeners and other more manual labor jobs to earn enough money so they could go back to Lanfair and continue with their homestead and working there. The house that she owned was valued at $2,000 at that time. And interestingly enough, many of these homesteaders were actually registered to vote. And when you realize and recall that during the time they homesteaded was after the Civil War, and voting was a very important element in all of their lives. She had a total of 300 acres, and that was divided into 60-acre plots. She moved her mobile home onto the parcel while she built the 2-story home. But unfortunately, the house was destroyed by winds, probably not unlike what we had here recently. And she also was able to put a well on her property. So again, you can see that I've used the same iconography of the area from which she came, with the number of her tract, and then it goes into actually where her tract was located. You might also notice in this particular map that the clustering of the red tracts of land, where the African American homesteaders lived, was referred to as an intentional community, which meant that several of these families were related to each other. And the proximity for them to live close to each other apparently was very important to them.